Hi, this is Attorney Robert Miller, and I'm here at the North Justice Center of Orange County Superior Court here in Fullerton, California, to talk about field sobriety tests. This will be the first in a series of field sobriety test videos regarding DUI testing, but I wanted to start with the Horizontal Gaze Nystagmus test. This test, which came out of scientific studies and even field studies that were conducted by research facilities and researchers throughout the 1990s. Specifically, there were 3 tests in 1995, 1997, and 1998 that tried to find out what the best indicators were that a person was actually under the influence to assist police officers in finding out whether or not a person had been driving drunk or driving under the influence. The horizontal nystagmus test looks at the eyes, and specifically the muscles controlling the eyes. One of the things that researchers have noted ever since the 1920s is that when a person is under the influence of alcohol or intoxicated, that they actually have a fluttering of the eyes at the extremes. So if a person's eyes are made to gaze out at the end of the field of vision, their eyes are going to flutter, and that's what nystagmus is. It's defined as an involuntary jerking or fluttering of the eye at the extremes. So there's also different types of nystagmus, which we'll get to in a second. But just to demonstrate the horizontal gaze nystagmus, basically the officer will take what they call a stimulus, and that can be a pen or a pencil. It can be the officer's finger. It can be something like a flashlight. But they're going to ask the subject to stand up straight. They're going to ask the subject to face the officer and not move their head. So you don't want to have this, which can interfere with the eye's travel. And they're going to take the stimulus and place it out a certain distance from the testing subject. And then they make several passes. So the test actually should take a while. The first test they're going to do is have the subject, while keeping their head straight, look out and then observe as they get near that 45-degree angle where the field of vision starts to be limited, to see if there's jerking or fluttering of the eye in the movement. That's done on a very slow 2-second pass. So the entire pass should take 2 seconds. The officer is supposed to count internally 1001 and 1002, and then they will repeat that all the way out to the shoulder to see the extremes and see if at the 45 degree, which is halfway between the center position and the shoulder, if the nystagmus is present there as well. And then also they do vertical nystagmus, so they'll have the eye travel up and down to see if there's fluttering of the eyes elsewhere. The best way to cross-examine an officer from the defense point of view as to how they do these exams is to use the NHTSA manual. NHTSA is the National Highway Transportation and Safety Administration, and they're the ones that have gathered all the scientific data and research and come up with a training manual so that the actual training of officers when it comes to field sobriety tests is standardized. In other words, it's done the same way every time. And you can usually cross-examine the officers based on this manual, which is what the police officers are trained in, and have them demonstrate in court how they do the field sobriety testing or describe how they do it, and then cross-examine them with the procedures that are detailed here. The biggest mistake I see in cross-examining officers is they do the nystagmus too quickly. So if you have a pass that's 2 seconds and it's repeated each time, and then it's supposed to be done 4 seconds all the way out to the shoulder and 2 seconds up and 2 seconds down, that should take a minimum of 18 seconds overall. And officers tend to rush through that. They'll say, sir, can you please look at my pen, and wave the pen around fairly quickly to try to look for nystagmus and just get in and out of there as quickly as possible. And if you show that to a jury or show that to a judge, often that can have some very good results in your case. So right now it's the day before Christmas Eve. It's December 23rd. I finished my caseload today with a great result for a client in front of the courthouse in Fullerton, and I hope that you have a great day and drive safe.